So, welcome to the Fall Release webinar. If it's your first time joining us, we're thrilled you're here. These webinars are your opportunities firsthand, the exciting new product updates our team has developed. We've prepared some great product demos for today, so sit back and let's dive right in. So, housekeeping first. One, ask questions, just drop them in the chat. We're going to take questions at the end after we've gone through everything. So as they come to mind, drop them in. We may or may not get to them all. And if we don't, we'll follow up with you later. And then second, it is recorded. So if you need to drop off at any point, feel free to just do that and you'll get the recording after the event is done. So with that, we'll introduce you to who we have today. So first, we have Arkady from our product team. He's subject matter expert behind the new features we'll be discussing. He'll walk you through the strategy and vision behind the updates. We've also got Rachel Garrison, one of our solutions consultants. She'll give you a hands-on look at these new features and how they work in practice with some live demos. And then I am Billy Bateman from the product marketing team here at Kustomer, and I will be your host today. All right, so let's look at the agenda just really quickly. We're going to touch on just a little bit about Kustomer, then go into the agentic platform, which is one of our really big pushes and initiatives and where we're taking our product. And then we're going to go click down into AI agents for reps, AI agents for customers, and then some overall platform updates we've made, and then a sneak peek at what's next, and then our Q&A. Okay, so you heard me just reference the agentic platform for CX. So that is really at the heart of our release for this fall and probably going forward for a long time. Our vision is simple but powerful. Let's unlock the full potential of humans, data, and AI working together in customer service. By combining these three elements into a unified platform, we empower teams to deliver consistent, personalized, and efficient support at scale without the trade-off that often comes with legacy tools. So how do we think about the agentic platform for CX? The foundation is everything as the foundation of everything we're building. The idea is simple. Let's bring the humans, data, and AI together so the support teams can deliver faster, more personalized, and more consistent service. It's not just another tool. This is a full platform that we have. You've got our AI agents for customers and reps, workflows and automations, integrations, CRM data, omni-channel support, and then enterprise level security, all working as one system. The result is a customer experience that's smarter, more efficient, and built to scale without adding complexity for your team. So what are AI agents? We've referenced it a few times. If you're not familiar, and what is agentic as well? So agentic refers to the capability of an AI system to act autonomously. So it can make decisions and take actions to achieve a specific goal, as the name agentic suggests. It also implies having agency, the power to act independently and produce results. It's contrast with other bolt-on AI systems that chat and respond to users with pre-programmed instructions without really taking action. They're just like suggesting like, oh, you should look at this help article or you should do this. So we have three key parts of our agentic platform right now. The first is our AI Agent Studio. This is where you design and guide your AI agents. It grounds them in your policies, your processes, and knowledge. So they're not just smart, but aligned with your business. Next is our AI agents for reps. Think about these as co-pilots for your team that suggest responses, summarize conversations, surface context, and even recommend next best actions. So every rep can work faster and more effectively. And finally, we have our AI agents for customers. These are always-on agents that engage directly with customers. They can answer questions, pull in data, even resolve cases end-to-end, and then or work hand in hand with your human agent as needed. So together, these three pieces make up the agentic platform, and they help you run smarter, more efficient customer experiences. All right, so we are going to take a look at our AI Agent Studio and what's new within the Agent Studio. As I just touched on, this is where you set up and you create your AI agents. You decide what knowledge they're going to look at, what they are able to do, and really ground them and create them so they can work together within the other AI agents and your team. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Rachel to give us a little demo.
Perfect. Thank you, Billy. So before we dive into what is new within AI Agent Studio, let's take a brief look at what AI Agent Studio is and how you can use it to build your AI agents for reps and AI agents for customers. So what you see here on the screen is what we call an AI agent team. And we set up AI agent teams for your customers and for your reps in order to create different actions, different processes, and really function the AI agent appropriately. So what you're looking at here is what we call that team, where specifically this is for retail. But what we're doing is we have a supervisor specialist that is going to route appropriately to the appropriate specialist where we can actually take action, like Billy said, on certain things within the AI agent. So as you see here, we're in the AI agent data specialist, and we can go through and not only give it a description, but really the power of AI Agent Studio is the ability to access different knowledge sources and easily create what we call tools, which are your action components of that AI agent. And we do this as teams in order to make these very easy to not only iterate on, but also from an accuracy standpoint, from a precision standpoint, as well as a latency standpoint, making sure that these AI agents are functioning appropriately, properly, and to the best of their ability as we go through the different actions they need to create. And then once you give them access to different tools, different knowledge sources, basically what you're doing is you're writing instructions for this particular AI agent. And we're going to see this AI agent in action a little bit later when we do a return. But what we do here is specifically give it instructions for what we need it to do, where we need it to escalate, and so on and so forth. So really be precise as to what this AI agent can do, and they all work in tandem together to hand off to one another to make sure that the AI agent functionality, the precision and accuracy are going accordingly. So with that, I'm going to hand it back over to Billy, and we'll continue on with what's new with AI Agent Studio.
Okay. Thank you, Rachel. Okay. A few new upgrades that we have. So one is our OAuth tool 2.0 here. So this is one of the areas we've really focused on is security and trust. A big step forward here is adding the OAuth 2.0 support for AI agents. What does it mean in practice? It means you can now support your AI or connect your AI agents to external APIs securely without ever exposing credentials. So no more workarounds, shortcuts. It's industry standard, built right here into the platform. Why it matters, your data stays protected with strong standardized authorization, easier to integrate with external tools that we're already using, and best practices are built in. So setup simple, easy to get going, clear instructions. It really makes expanding what your AI agents can do easier and safer. Okay, also we have expanded the web crawler here. So before you had to add individual URLs. We know it was tedious. We heard you. And with this, you're able to add a sitemap. You can go with public URLs and just drop them in. Really easy, fast setup. You can also connect a Zendesk Help Center to easily say, okay, we're moving over to customer. We still have this. Boom. Here we are. We can choose what our AI agents want to be grounded in. Makes it really easy and fast to set up and get going. The AI is only as good as the knowledge it can draw upon. And this really allows you to easily expand what you're able to ground your AI agents in so that they can provide those exceptional experiences to your customers. With that, I'm going to hand it over to Arkady to talk about a few other things.
Thanks, Billy. Always very hyped to talk about some of these cutting edge features. So first, let's talk for a second about how we actually help you build better AI agents. Whether you're an agentic pro or you're doing this for the first time ever, we really want to equip you with some of those key tools to succeed. So we're introducing a series of improvements to the Agent Studio that Rachel showed off that are going to make it even easier to spin up AI teams that deliver instant customer value. So we've simplified setup there for much faster deployment and refinement, a lot of user experience improvements we've made there. We've added pre-built AI agent personas for your most common industry use cases. They're going to work straight out of the box, and then you can tweak them to your unique business operations and the unique experiences that you want to deliver. We've also added better presets and guides for advanced prompting. So if you need some help actually building those descriptions out that define how those AI agents are going to behave, we're kind of bootstrapping our own agentic expertise there to help you inline and assist you when you're building them out. And then finally, we've also added the ability to actually, configure AI agent behavior when a customer abandons the conversation. So even if they kind of left off, they didn't respond to the AI agent, we can then proactively follow up and make sure that we delivered the maximum value that we could to them there. Now, in addition to those improvements to our AI Studio, we've also introduced a powerful AI agent evaluation engine. You might have heard these called evals in the industry at large. So the eval system is actually going to allow you to simulate how your AI agents are performing in a particular scenario without having to manually QA them, which could take hours or days for a complex setup, and without having to deploy them live to customers and just like kind of fingers crossed hope that you're going to get the right result. So what you can do is run hundreds of simulations for any configuration of prompts and tools. You can give an expected response and say, all right, in this particular situation, I think this is how the AI agent should service the customer. And what you're going to get back is really comprehensive scoring that's actually going to help you optimize those exact areas that need to be improved before those agents are ready for prime time.
All right, thanks, Arkady. The evals, that is going to be a really powerful tool, I think, in terms of really driving that trust so that you can set things up and like be able to set these guys out into the wild and have them really service your customers and do it the way you want them to do it.
Oh, yeah.
So now we're going to talk about AI agents for reps and how they fit into the platform. So touched on this earlier, but think about these AI agents for reps as really a co-pilot, somebody working hand in hand with your human agents. They're helping with task solving, summarizing conversations for handoffs, proactively prompting them with suggested answers, and then suggesting next best actions to really make sure your customers have amazing experiences and leave satisfied and happy whenever they do need to reach out to you. So we're going to have Rachel is going to give us a demo of AI agents for reps and also a few of the new things that we've just added, and then we'll circle back and go a little more in depth into those.
Okay, so AI Agents for Reps is actually one of the AI agents that you can create in AI Agent Studio, which we just took a look at previously. And AI Agents for Reps actually works in two different ways. We have something called summaries. So where summarization occurs on not only the customer, so we're in the customer timeline right now, which is what we're looking at. We're logged in and we're made available. So I can see my existing conversations over here. I'm clicked into Michael Scott here, and then we can see that he has a customer summary here where it's summarizing the previous conversations he's had. These summaries can be customized to the different information you're adding to customer as well. But sometimes we know that these timelines get pretty long, and you're coming in here as an agent and scrolling through this pretty long timeline, and you want to make sure you're getting the right information very quickly to in order to get back to the customer appropriately. So we have customer summaries up there, and then you'll notice we have summaries a couple other places where this is an email here, and you'll see we've summarized the email conversation up at the top, as well as provided a closing summary anytime we're handing off the conversation to another team member, whether that be AI or human, we're providing a summary, as well as you can see this conversation in particular is marked done, and then we're providing a closing summary. So really giving the agent the ability to have some efficiency tools at their fingertips to make sure that they have the appropriate context for answering any type of conversation that comes in. Now, the second part of AI for reps is what we call Copilot, and what Billy just alluded to here, which think of this as another way for your agents to have more efficient and effective conversations. And this can be contextualized a myriad of different ways, but what we're doing is we're building those in AI Agent Studio, giving them instructions for how we want them to behave, and then based on the conversations that are coming in, we can either suggest a next best action, like Billy said, or we can get questions of maybe a couple different knowledge sources we have plugged into this, have it take action for us. For demo purposes today, what we're going to take a look at is this conversation, this chat in particular, actually came in French. And because we're clicked into this conversation, what I'm able to do is not only suggest a next best action, but ask it if I could get a response back in French. And there you go. So in French, this customer asked about a return policy. You can see, I can see the English version of that as well. But what I'm able to do then is when I go to reply to this customer, I'm able to specifically add this to the reply editor and send that off, and we're ready to go. Back to you, Billy.
Okay, thank you, Rachel. Yeah. So let's dive in a little bit and talk about some of the things that Rachel showed us. So one of the big upgrades we made is AI agents for reps now have two-way translations for reps. This is really about driving efficiency and scalability for your teams. With this capability, reps can communicate with any customer in their preferred language instantly and without switching tools. It means like no copy and pasting into an external translator, no delays, no risk of losing context. Benefits are clear: global reach. Your team can support customers anywhere in just about any language, faster resolutions because they're understanding and responding closer to real time, and consistent quality. So conversations remain accurate, professional, regardless of any language barriers that might exist. So this will help make your reps more versatile, help large teams scale support without adding complexity. Okay, and then also the multi-brand support for reps. So and this is another powerful update that we've made to AI agents for reps. Now, every rep has a single copilot that brings context, shortcuts, summaries across brands they support. So they're supporting multiple brands. We can jump between those and stay consistent to the voice and the processes of that brand. So instead of juggling multiple systems or tabs, they get everything they need in one place. So unified context, the reps instantly see the full picture, when working across brands, smarter workflows that suggest pre-configured shortcuts for faster responses specific to that brand, and then time savings. With everything being auto-generated for them, it's easier for them to switch context when they need to. So now we are going to shift over to that third pillar within the agentic platform, our AI agents for customers. So just as a reminder, AI agents for customers deliver human-like support across every channel: voice, chat, SMS, email, messengers. Easy to set up. They work alongside your human agents, provide 24/7 service that's accurate and consistent and always on. So I'm going to hand it back over to Rachel to give us a demo of AI agents for customers and some of the new upgrades.
All right, let's take a look at AI for customers. Now, again, AI for Customers is built within AI Agent Studio, which we took a look at the beginning, and you're able to create different AI agent teams for specific tasks, specialists for specific tasks, and automate different processes you have for your customers. So what we're going to look at here is a couple different approaches to AI agents for customers. First and foremost, we're on a web page here. It's minimized for demo purposes, but I'm going to click into the conversation and actually start a new conversation. We can do some proactive messaging here if that helps your customers to whatever question you need to be able to ask. But what we're going to do is we're going to just simply ask, what is your return policy? So like Billy said before, when we're actually interacting with AI agents for customers, as a customer, we're able to give the AI agent access to different knowledge sources. And you saw that web crawler just came out, but what we're also able to do is give it access to different customer knowledge. And then of course, different website information to be able to provide the most accurate answer possible for the customer. And you can see here, we've gone through, given it, our question here, and it's provided an answer for us. It's actually now then asking me if I'd like to start a return. So as you saw in AI Agent Studio, part of the instructions we're able to write for the individual specialists in AI Agent Studio is to be able to, prompt the customer to do something else and take them down the journey with where you need them to go. And so in particular, they asked about a return. Do they want to start a return? And I'll just say yes for these purposes to start a return. And as you notice also on the left-hand side, I have the customer timeline open as well. So you can see here, I'm actually logged in as Michael. So this is appearing on my timeline over here. And all of the information that I'm doing with the AI agent over here is actually appearing over here for whatever human agent you might have or whatever supervisor you might have, so they can keep a close watch on conversations as well. Now it's asking me what my order number is. Let's say I don't have my order number. So I'm already authenticated in. We're not going to go through that process today, but we can take customers through an authentication process so we can understand what information that they have on their profile. So you'll see Michael here has a couple orders on his profile, which are going to get pulled in here when it asks me about a particular order. So I don't have my order number. I'm just going to say I don't have it. You can see that gets updated as well. So now it's going to go fetch actually all three orders that I have to make sure I want to return or which item I want to return. So we're going to actually return that last one, the women's silk scarf. And then again, as part of the specialist, we asked for additional information. We have several different customers handling this multiple different ways. If someone wants to place a return, some like to escalate this directly to a human. You can go through this process and ask additional questions to make sure that the return is a valid return. So I'm going to just say wrong color for this case. And as you can see, as part of the action component, so remember we added tools to that specific AI agent specialist, and what happened is it actually took action on it. So it placed that return for that item on the customer timeline and then asked me if I have any additional questions. Now we're going to escalate to an agent, a human agent. And you can add in different ways in which these things get escalated as part of the instructions you're adding to the specialist. So it can auto escalate based on a myriad of criteria as well. But what you can see here is it just connected me actually to a human. So you can see as we were going through that conversation, I have the entire context for the conversation. I have a summary from AI for reps. And then I can go down, see everything that happened. And then that handoff summary again from AI Agent for Reps was directly in here. And I'm going to just say, how can I help? So now I'm the human agent responding back to this, and you can see the seamless transition that happened. So your customers have a very seamless experience throughout the whole process, whether they're talking to an AI agent for customers or whether they're talking to a human agent. The last thing I wanted to show was the ability to actually hand this back off to an AI agent. So some of our customers, they're escalating from, we just went through a return process. We got escalated to a human. Maybe I need to update my address. And as a human, I don't need to perform that task because I actually have an AI agent that's going to be able to handle that task. So what I can do is actually hand off back to whatever AI agent I've created that is going to update that address and send that back over to them. And then it will reconnect and hand over, and maybe we can go through that change of address process and let the AI agent handle that. So really freeing up your humans to handle the human components of a conversation, and then having your AI agents take the low-hanging fruit, those easy tasks that are easy to create, again, providing efficiency and effectiveness in all of your conversations. So that's all that I have. Back to you, Billy.
Thanks, Rachel. I'm actually going to hand it over to Arkady to dive into these just a little bit more.
Awesome. Thanks, Billy. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about, how we think about understanding these AI agent systems and how they're performing. So, we want you to have a complete feedback loop that really helps you optimize all aspects of the experience that they're delivering. So evals help you understand how an agent is going to perform before it's ever deployed, right? And our growing suite of AI reporting tools show you how they behave once they're released out into the wild and handling real customer interactions. So if you use these two solutions together, you get to constantly iterate to build something really, really special that represents your brand and business exactly how you want it to. So we're introducing a new AI resolution rate that quantifies what share of conversations AI agents handled and sort of shepherded to a resolved state completely on their own. No help from humans, right? Basically handled the whole conversation from end to end. However, this metric, while it's really popular in the industry, it doesn't really highlight the whole ROI that you're getting from your AI agent systems, right? So we're also introducing an AI support rate, which is a metric that's unique to customer and quantifies how often AI agents move the conversation along and deliver value to the customer before handing off to a human. So we strongly believe that the future looks like teams of AI agents and human agents working together to deliver an experience that's greater than the sum of its parts. So we wanted to give you a metric that captures all the times that, AI is asking clarifying questions or helping a user along in that customer journey and diagnosing what the problem might be before they're letting a human take over and handle some of the more complicated aspects of each case. So together, you really get a holistic system and a true kind of cybernetic workforce that combines the agents and the humans that work for you.
Okay, now we're going to talk about just our overall platform and a few upgrades that we have made there.
Yeah, all right, let's get into some cool stuff. So, piggybacking on the AI agents for customers discussion, here's a super powerful addition we recently made for our e-commerce users. So, as a Shopify Technology Plus partner, we really wanted to build a new search orders tool that combines, our deep relationship with one of our top allies in the industry and our leading agentic expertise. There's a lot of cool stuff that you can do here. So this tool, which you can access in AI Agent Studio, allows your agents to access all the critical Shopify order data that they need to deliver a best-in-class customer experience. So when they're talking to a user, right, when they're moving the conversation along, they can pull in details like specific line items, basically any of the metadata or meta fields that exist on orders, their Shopify history in general, and that lets them give much more accurate and up-to-the-minute answers on what's going on and deliver a lot more relevancy to the end user. Business hours aware logic is kind of another way to improve how AI agents are able to handle requests. So, we've made a lot of improvements here to how after hours routing configuration works, again, to really cement the collaboration between AI agents and human agents and make it even smoother. So you can now customize the after hours messaging and the routing behaviors for AI agents. So you can send conversations to specific queues or otherwise triage them using our super powerful workflows engine. So this basically helps you guarantee a positive experience 24/7 with always on collaborative support. When it comes to audit logging, right? So, in the past, it's been a little bit difficult to understand what actually drove the decision in order to like specifically pick a route for a conversation, right? And it's really important to understand how conversations are moving through the system. Again, it's another signal for actually improving your configuration and delivering an even better experience. So we've really expanded this audit logging capability for queues and routing. Now, when you go into the audit log, you're going to see a really detailed breakdown of exactly why a route occurred, some of the metadata associated to it, and that's going to help you optimize some of those business rules and guarantee even better service. When it comes to channel improvements, two big additions that we've made and that we want to call out today. So one is our newly expanded Outlook integration. So this totally rebuilt app is going to allow you to seamlessly sync and manage Outlook emails directly in the customer timeline. We've completely relaunched the experience when it comes to using Outlook with our system. So especially for organizations that use multiple email infrastructures, which many of you are doing today, you can finally centralize all that stuff within customer, right? Your Outlook, Gmail, and Postmark conversations are all going to be available in one place and all can be kind of synced and controlled from within customer. And then finally, when it comes to channel improvements, we've also been making a lot of investments on the voice side. So in addition to constantly shipping boosts to our infrastructure, we've also added many new metrics to our reporting. So those include things like agent talk times and calls accepted, missed calls, abandoned calls, queue times, better analysis of outbound calls as well for those of you who are using customer to dial out to folks and not just taking inbound calls. So these give you a much more holistic understanding of how your agents are handling these voice conversations, what behaviors should be rewarded, where you can double click into some best practices and generalize them across the team when you have some high performers, and really just helps you get a lot more value out of the voice infrastructure. So I'm gonna turn the mic back over to Billy now, and let's explore any questions folks might have for us.
Yeah, I'm excited. We've got a few questions, so excited to take these and we'll just start here. Amy has a question, says, when AI agents pull Shopify order details, can I choose which information they show to customers?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So that's a big advantage of the customer system in general is you can really build out, kind of specific approaches using workflows, using AI agents. So in this case, right, you're going to have full control over which metadata fields AI agents leverage and can prompt them to use them in really specific ways that are most relevant to your business. So total control over what information is being shown and total control over how it's actually going to be used by the agentic system.
Great. Yeah, that's one of the things we consistently hear. People love like how customizable and the control they have with our product. Okay,
Definitely.
we've got another one coming in here from Brian. Can I see how specific AI agent teams are performing in your reports?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Doesn't take me long to think about that one. So that's a powerful feature in AI agent reporting too. So yeah, you can drill down to specific AI agent teams. What's really cool is you can even drill down to specific versions as well. So if you had like a prior version, you want to see how it's performing on that resolution rate, on that support rate, and then compare it to a newer version. Again, like that's another thing that forms that really valuable feedback loop that lets you constantly optimize your configuration. So yes, you can totally get down to the team level.
Great. Okay. We've got another one from Lisa about audit logs.
Mm.
So in the audit logs, can I see why a routing decision was made and what data was used?
Yeah, fact check yes on that one. So that's exactly why we built the feature, right? Previously, it was a little bit hard to understand like why exactly a conversation was moving through the system that it was. And again, you can build really complex queuing workflows. You can kind of, move conversations between contact centers, between different specialists, between different teams of AI agents and humans. So exactly why we built that feature. You're going to get some comprehensive metadata, information there about why we chose this route and like what ultimately influenced that system decision for where the conversation ended up. So if you see something unusual in there, you see something that doesn't quite make sense, then you can just go directly and diagnose what the problem might be in those workflows.
Okay. Okay. Another one. This one from Rachel. So this is on the web crawler. Looks like. So once
Okay.
I connect to site, how often does the crawler refresh content to stay up to date with new articles? And can I control versioning so customers don't see outdated responses?
Yeah, that's a good question. So you do have versioning control. So you can kind of override and update sources, as you're ready. Obviously, websites change super dynamically, especially for some of our larger clients. So right now, that crawler is going to refresh every 24 hours to keep it up to date with any changes that have been propagated.
Okay, every 24 hours. Easy peasy right there to remember. Okay. Um, One more from Michael. He just says he'd love a little more detail on the voice metrics and what you're going to be able to see there.
Yeah, absolutely. So, essentially what we've done is we've overhauled some of the analysis in our team report, in our routing report, and in the voice report as well. So basically, you're going to see a lot more breakdowns by individual agents. That's what really makes this so powerful is seeing, again, like who's really overperforming, right? Who's like kind of handling, the most conversations, who's accepting the most calls, moving them through the system, right? You're also going to see, on the negative side, like who's missing a lot of calls when they're being routed to them, who's having to get skipped over when it comes to the queue there. And so that's going to give you a really good understanding of when it comes to your voice workforce, like where are maybe some of the weak links that we need to improve on, where are there training opportunities, right? Where there are opportunities to reward folks that are working really hard or maybe like again double click as I said before into what they're actually doing. So if we see people that are solving a lot of conversations, they're handling a lot of phone calls, right? Maybe there's something special in how they're approaching the problem or in the level of service that they're giving customers. So that's really the spirit of it. And then we've also added quite a few aggregates, especially when it comes to the voice report too. So when it came to things like outbound calling, we're seeing this use case more and more often, where clients don't just want to be able to receive phone calls; they also want to use outbound. Maybe in a follow-up function. Some of our clients are even using it in kind of a marketing outbound function. So we gave a little bit more analysis there too, in terms of like when you're going out, how often are those calls being picked up? And some other key metrics around that use case as well.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. And then another question here. This is going back to the AI resolution and support rates. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
how are we defining an AI resolution? And that was,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, totally. So in this case, super, super straightforward. So we're looking at all of the conversations where AI sent the only messages out from the system, right? So a human was never involved, and it was able to move the conversation successfully all the way to a done status. Now you can obviously customize like what's actually going to get them there. You can build that out using both the combination of how the AI agents behave and workflows as well. And so essentially that's super, super easy to tailor under the hood and also super, super easy to interpret. We found that sometimes when you come across this metric in the industry, there's some weird obfuscation in the calculation. There's some weird conditions. Like in this case, it's basically saying out of all of the conversations where only AI was involved, how many of those conversations that we get to done. And that's kind of like, again, the very straightforward metric that a lot of executives are enamored with, of like, how much work did I just strictly take off of my plate when it comes to my human workforce. But we wanted to really support that and build that out with the support rate as well, to give you like kind of the other perspective on that, in terms of how often AI agents are moving conversations through the system. They're introducing a lot of value, but they might not be able to handle the complexity of the case. And that's where humans should really be coming in.
Okay, okay. And then this wasn't in the chat, but follow-up question to that on the support rate, that just means like, hey, is that just exclusive to AI customers, helping AI agents for customers, helping them out and sending a few messages and maybe needing to elevate, or does that include AI agents for reps as well?
So that in this case includes just AI agents for customers. So like you said, like sending messages out, asking clarifying questions, trying to understand if a human should be involved at this point, calling tools and pulling in information like that new Shopify order search tool that we mentioned. We do have pretty comprehensive reporting on Copilot usage as well. It's kind of similar in spirit to the voice reporting use case that I mentioned. So it allows you to kind of see, which aspects of AI agents for reps are being used more often. In a corollary view, what does customer satisfaction look like when Copilot is used and when it's not used? What does first contact resolution look like when it's used and not used? So like, how frequently are folks able to, actually resolve a question from the first interaction by being able to use that AI augmentation? So that reporting is really powerful too. Another way to kind of discover best practices, if we're seeing a particular pattern when Copilot is being used, we can start to dig into like, okay, which agents do we have configured under the hood there? What's really working there, and then continually iterate on them to deliver an even better experience, frankly, both for the customer and for your reps as well.
Okay, all right. If there's any questions, we're gonna have to keep moving along to wrap up with just kind of the last of the items about what's next. We promised you a little bit of preview and some other upcoming events we have. We want to make sure we touch on. Any questions we didn't get to, we will follow up with you and make sure we get answers to those. Okay.
Yeah, those
So
are great. Thank you.
yeah, these are awesome questions. We appreciate you guys coming in and asking them, and we will get to everything else. So, just a quick glance. We weren't able to cover everything. We just kind of covered the big rocks here in this webinar release. But we did. This is a list of everything that's come out in the last 3 months. Big, like we touched on the big ones. Some other ones that we didn't touch on is we continue to expand our voice coverage globally. So Netherlands are now supported with local numbers. We have new tools for AI agents for reps to help you with your writing, and a lot of just like quality of life, like being able to make it easier to navigate within the platform and just like so much easier to work within, and great upgrades there. So we could go through them all. We've got them all here. But if you do want to go into everything, we have a lot of places where we try to make it very available to everyone to see what's new within customer. So one is the webinar. You're here, obviously. Good on you for being here and watching us. We do these every quarter. So we'll have the next one in 3 months. Also our blog. If you check out our blog, anytime we have any of these bigger features, we try to get them there. The smaller things we kind of put into these roundups where you can check it out, and we'll see them in more condensed articles. And then our newsletter. So if you aren't subscribed to our newsletter, it comes out once a month, usually around the end of the month. And make sure you sign up for that. You'll get a roundup of everything that's come out in the last month, and then our release notes as well. So you can go in as we push new features to GA. We always put the notes there in our release notes so you can see what it is, what it does, and then reach out to your CSM as well. Like if you ever have questions on things within customers, our customer support team would love to talk to you and is always there to support you. So let's take a quick look at what is coming up. These are just a few things that will be coming out very soon. One is our TikTok shop channel integration. So we really are big on omni-channel. We want everything to be right there in the timeline. With this TikTok shop integration, you're going to be able to see that and communicate with customers right there from within the customer timeline. Improved sandboxes. So if you're already using a sandbox that we have, we're making improvements to make it easier to test updates with data and push once you like what you're seeing, push those changes over to production. And then for our B2B customers, the multi-entity customer to company relationships, we're making it easier to track those connections and enhancing those relationships. And then we also have our customer holiday readiness run. We know we have a lot of e-commerce customers. And as we head into the peak season here, our CS team is hosting a special holiday readiness program. So it's an 8-week masterclass designed to help you get prepared for the busiest time of the year. When you sign up, you'll receive holiday preparedness best practices delivered straight to your inbox, practical tips you can apply right away to keep service smooth, even at peak volume. We'd love for you to join us, take advantage of the lessons from our team that they put together. Use the QR code on the screen in the bottom right-hand corner here, and you can register for that. So I'll give everybody just a minute. If you get your camera out, I'm sure it's on the website as well. If you just Google this, you'll be able to register or reach out to your CSM and they can get you involved as well. All right, and then we are hosting CX Now 25. So before we close, I just want to highlight this upcoming event we're really excited about. This isn't another AI hype session. It's about real strategies and ROI in customer experience. You're going to hear directly from CX executives who are leading transformation, take part in some curated networking and panels with top brands, and should walk away with actionable strategies that you can put into practice immediately. The agenda includes keynotes from our leadership team, executive panels on AI and CX transformation, and then partner and customer panels as well. So we'll also have guided networking and, of course, social happy hour to close things out. We've got 2 stops for this. So the first one is in New York on October 14th. And the second one is in Los Angeles on October 22nd. You're going to hear from Brad, Jeremy, Doug, Lauren, Rachel, our head of product, and other special guests. The seats are limited. So if you head over to the website, you can request your spot today, and we would love to see you there. And with that, thank you everybody so much for joining us today. We'll see you again for our winter 2025 product webinar. And until then, take it easy.